What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Tears for Fears. And we're going to go through some of the bonus tunes from the era of Raoul and the Kings of Spain. Thank you again to Kim for providing all manner of music as well as Tears for Fears and their bonus or non-album tracks. But yeah, the first one in this playlist is All of the Angels. So I'm inclined to wonder whether angels is a more genuinely, let's say, metaphysical or supernatural connotation, or whether it is in fact referring to angels in a more colloquial sense, meaning someone who is very sweet, innocent, or otherwise angelic in a behavioral or psychological sense. And of course, the phrase all of the suggests there is a wider point or categorization taking place as to what all of the angels are doing or what is being done about them or to them is ambiguous. So let's see what I can catch on the first listen, and maybe I'll have answers to some of these questions. This is Tears for Fears. The song is All of the Angels, and it's from the bonus material from the era of Raoul and the Kings of Spain. underlying drum rhythm in this last section in particular is complicated. It like feels like it's about to turn over, cymbal crash, and then go into a steady beat, but it just keeps cycling, and the particular rhythm of it, it was rhythmically sound, and yet it was very complex, at least as my brain was hearing it. And yeah, I enjoy the kind of smooth guitar, somewhere between like pop rock with a bit of a like folk or rustic edge to it. Not the first time I've said that about some of the material, especially from the material when it was essentially like a Roland solo project. But also I enjoyed, there was like this church organ, kind of electric organ, almost, maybe somewhere between church organ and jazz organ. It was somewhere in there, and those keys were standing out. But yeah, ultimately the lyrics are what I was trying to follow as best I could. And so first of all, my question is like all of the angels caught in a storm? Was it caught in a storm? Maybe I'm hearing that lyric incorrectly, and if that's the case, it could change a lot. But okay, he's saying like they're gonna leave, and they're gonna leave all they are, and I think there was like a different version of that, but all they are, and sounds like he's gonna move on. And there was even a line I think in one of the verses like he's gonna be sad when he leaves tomorrow, but then there was a line something to the effect of like they're always with us. So I don't know, it's like the angels are, he realizes, whether again supernatural or more figurative or like metaphorical, but that angels, protecting him, guarding him, guiding him, are always there no matter where he goes, or whether like he's going to have to reinvent himself or cast off his old identity when he does leave the next day, however literal that might be. So yeah, it sounds like a transition. It sounds like a reinvention, or a kind of like a phoenix rising up and creating something new out of putting an old life to bed. But again, with the angels, I'm still not sure how literally to take that, and whether they're going to be again with him always, or whether they'll be left behind because they're caught in a storm. So yeah, I'm keen to hear what people have to say about that. But again, Roland has great vocals. It's not the biggest I've ever heard him sing, but he just has this very distinct and enjoyable sonic character to his voice. And that's true whether he's singing deeper and more powerfully or up high in his register, which he can do equally well, and which he's continued to be able to do right up into the present time, which is very impressive. I'll keep saying it, like Roland and Kurt, their ability to retain their vocal range more than most 40 plus years after they got their start, and when some of their most famous songs are from, is really, really impressive, because there's other groups and singers I like a great deal who can't do that. And interestingly enough, over on my Patreon, I think it'll still be under embargo, meaning if you're a full member, you can watch it right now. If you're only a free member, I think it's going to be another few days, like, I don't know, another 5 days, maybe. No, I think it's another 4 days until it's publicly available. But I did a song documentary watch along for a song documentary about woman in chains. Shout out to Michaela for making that available. But it's interviewing Olita. Like, Roland and Kurt don't show up in this. Oh, that's not true. There's a contemporaneous. There's like an interview from I think the 90s, and Roland is there with Olita talking about how he was struck by when he heard her singing at the hotel, and a couple years later when they were writing Woman in Chains, he reached out and was like, hey, we'd love to have you on this track. And yeah, that documentary is filmed or like framed around Olita, and she gives a lot of interviews from more recent times. And she's saying she eventually turned down a tour because she's like, look, I just can't sing the way I used to, and I'd rather leave 2 years too early rather than 2 years too late, which I thought was interesting. And I totally get that. I really do get that. But yeah, so again, it's a testament to Roland and Kurt's vocal continuity that they still can hit really great notes in their older songs. So yeah, ultimately I am curious to hear what people have to say about the lyrics here. As I said, if you're interested in that song documentary, and if you're a full member, you can go watch it now. You could become a full member for as little as $5 a month, but even if that's not something you can do, in a few days it'll be publicly available, so you can check it out then. In any case, there are more tracks in this folder of bonus material from Raoul and the Kings of Spain. Thank you again to Kim. So we'll go through those in the coming weeks, and I will still go through the remainder of the live tracks from Songs for a Nervous Planet. I started going through that live performance, I think, from Manchester in the 80s, so we still got plenty more Tears for Fears to go. What is wrong with my brain and my mouth? They are not cooperating right now. But yes, we'll go through more of them in the coming weeks and months. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.